For SunSentinel.com, this is Ira Winderman with your latest Ask Ira Miami Heat mailbag. Our first question today comes from Joel, who asks, "It looks like this coming season will be about developing young talent. My fear is that some of these players will turn out to be long-term keepers. But due to Tyler Johnson's bloated contract, the money won't be there for them when they become free agents. If the Heat had no takers for Josh McRoberts, will they ever be able to unload Tyler Johnson? However, I have a feeling Riley will have been retired by the time that Johnson's numbers kick in." Actually, the way, Joel, that Tyler Johnson's contract is written, his numbers won't really have a great impact on the 2017 offseason. I think actually they'll be in better position because of the way it's structured to maximize and cash out. So yes, if some of the players that Riley brought in this offseason on one-year deals or one-year deals with options actually prove to be keepers, I think Riley can work around Tyler Johnson's contract and make it work in the coming offseason. However, if you believe that Riley won't be around for the end of the Heat's rebuild, well, I think he has to get it done in short order anyway. Remember, they owe 2 future first-round picks from the Goran Dragic trade. Plus, they're in a situation where when Tyler Johnson's money kicks in, you're right, that will be difficult. So will Pat Riley be around for the rebuild? I think the summer of 2017 will have to be the rebuild for the Heat. So that's not that long at all. Our second question comes from Rick, who says, "The Hawks and Hornets took a step back. The Bulls and Knicks are loaded with injury-prone guys. The Heat have had an underrated offseason. Rick, there's no reason not to have a degree of optimism in the East because of this. There basically is the Cleveland Cavaliers and then everyone else. When it comes to Erik Spoelstra and the Heat and what they're competing against, I probably would put Boston with the addition of Al Horford, and the Raptors, because of the way they finished last season, is probably somewhere 2 and 3 in the East. But beyond that, for the Heat, it's a matter of who you think they do or don't stack up against. The Pacers, the Wizards, the Hawks, or the Pistons. And if you believe that Spoelstra can get his team to play with that quality or against that quality of competition, then I think the Heat could contend for a top 4 seed. If you don't believe that, then I think it's time to probably turn toward the future if you're talking about not being competitive for home court in the first round of the playoffs. And our last question comes from Frank, who says, "Well, that was quick. Guess Russell Westbrook won't be coming to Miami anytime soon." Frank, obviously the news was out overnight that Russell Westbrook looks like he will sign an extension with the Thunder, ironically with the money that Dion Waiters wasn't given for a qualifying offer before he left for the Heat. The Thunder were able to carve out that extension. I still don't think this is a bad thing for the Heat. I think it would have been far worse to go through an entire season saying, like I mentioned yesterday, Russell Westbrook will save it all, and then like Kevin Durant, you don't get him in free agency. This way the Heat can take stock of what they have and what realistically will be available next offseason. I think for the rest of the NBA, there might even be an exhale. Forget about Russell Westbrook, get on with your own team season, worry about 2017 free agency when it's 2017 and next July. Those are today's 3 questions. We'll be back tomorrow with 3 more. For SunSentinel.com, I'm Ira Winderman.